Christina Gears on Talk Radio 57 KLI.
All right, this is Christina Gears, Ms. Biz, your integrated financial planner with all the biz that you need to know about money. And we are here with Becky Sykes, the executive director of the Dallas Women's Foundation. And Becky, so what exactly does the Dallas Women's Foundation do?
The Dallas Women's Foundation is a financial resource for women in our community. Kind of like a bank, I like to think, in some ways. We do three things. We make grants or gifts, financial gifts, to nonprofit programs that help women and girls realize their full potential. So we fund things like after-school programs for young girls to help them set goals and stay out of trouble and stay in school. And we fund healthcare clinics for low-income working women who can't afford insurance. And we fund educational programs for girls to help them stay in math, science, and technology, for example, which is a great career field for women and girls. We fund all the domestic violence shelters, which, sad to say, is an increasing issue in our community.
I know, it's very challenging.
It is, especially in tough economic times. In fact, it's interesting, we're seeing the greatest needs in those agencies that reflect the economy, like the shelters, like the substance abuse programs, like the programs for women in prison. They're not top of mind for people, and a lot of people in a bad economy will fund a food bank or a homeless shelter, which is wonderful. But there are many, many programs out there that need funding that are kind of below the public's radar screen, and we try to find those and support them.
That's great. That's great. I know I support the Brighter Tomorrows.
Yes.
Which is in Irving and I think also in Grand Prairie, and they really help women. But men are also, I believe, involved in that. It's men and women that they help.
It's a great program.
Yes.
So we do the grant making. We do research to find out what is the status of women and girls in this community. What are their needs? Where should our dollars be going? And then we do a lot of education for women around giving, around philanthropy. A lot of people say, oh, I'm not a philanthropist. Well, most of us are philanthropists. Philanthropy means love of humankind. And most of us from early days have been giving away money to one extent or another. An exciting thing that's happened in the last 10 years is women are coming into their own as givers. They are making their own money, they're inheriting money, they're managing the family giving, and they want to be educated about it. And all of us need to do a better job of focusing our giving so that at the end of the year we look at the list of charitable donations that we've made and there's some rhyme or reason to it. It's not just scattershooting. So we talk with women about creating a giving plan.
So getting focused on just where you want to funnel giving dollars.
Where you want to make an impact with your giving. And keep a little bit aside for when a friend approaches you and asks you to support something that she's working on. We all need to be able to do that. But it's also helpful to be able to say to that friend, of course I'll support you, but it will be a small check because my main focus this year is XYZ.
So if I don't have any money right now, would it be possible for me to work on the grants programs?
Yes, we depend on community volunteers to help run our grant-making process.
Tell me how that works.
Each fall and each spring, we recruit a committee of volunteers, 40 volunteers. 20 of them have done this before, 20 are brand new to the process. We partner them up So a new person is with an experienced person. We train you how to go out and visit an agency, what kinds of questions to ask, what to look for, and then those two people write up a report on that agency and actually make a recommendation back to the larger committee about whether to fund that request or not.
How many requests for grants do you get a year, Becky?
We get, usually in each cycle, we get about $1 million in requests, and we usually have 200,000 or 300,000, 400,000 to grant out.
So you give away about 800,000 a year then.
Well, actually, we have other ways of giving out money besides the 2 grant cycles. This year we'll be granting out $2 million in the community.
That is fabulous.
It's wonderful, but I'm telling you, the decisions when we vote on which ones to fund are absolutely agonizing.
Oh.
Because you're leaving so many wonderful things on the table.
I know. I did the grant program once in the fall, and it was just fabulous, fabulous. And ladies, I would really recommend that you think about doing that. It really is a very, very rewarding opportunity for you to get involved.
And to see what the people on the front lines are dealing with, what's happening in the community.
Right, right. Instead of putting your head in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
I have my own problems. Because, don't you find that if you focus on somebody else, your own problems just kind of get fixed somehow?
At least they get in perspective.
Yeah, you're not so dreaded. I tell my ladies at my office that your work is your life raft. If you got any personal problems, man, just check them at the door, because they're going to be there when you get back.
So true.
Becky, I've really enjoyed talking to you. Is there any one last thing, one last message you'd like to give our girls and women out there that will help them?
Well, I never had a daughter, but if I had had one, my advice would have been learn how to take care of yourself financially.
Very good. So hike up those big girl panties and stay tuned, because we're going to be wrapping up next session. And we've learned how to network. All right. Go to my website, MsBizRadio.com. Call Angie, 888-GO4WEALTH. You get an hour for free. Bye. Christina Gears here.